My biggest ally in this fight has been the Animal Legal Defense Fund. We've partnered up and we sued Forever Wild for her mistreatment of wolves under the Endangered Species Act.
Good to see you, Lauren. I'm Stephen Wells, Executive Director of the Animal Legal Defense Fund. People are familiar with the Federal Endangered Species Act in terms of its ability to protect animals in the wild. But right now, the Animal Legal Defense Fund is using the Endangered Species Act to protect endangered species in captivity. We all know what the best thing to happen to these wolves is going to be is to wind up with you guys at LARC. And that's what we want to have happen.
There are two court cases involving Forever Wild. There's ours with the Animal Legal Defense Fund, talking about violating the Endangered Species Act. And then there's also a local ordinance and a lawsuit against Forever Wild for illegally housing exotic animals in Eureka Township.
We're talking about a Federal Endangered Species Act lawsuit, which is what we filed. They're talking about a local property law kind of case. Of course, we're connecting them because what we care about is the wolves.
A local judge had given her 90 days to come into compliance with that law. My expectation was at the 91st day, all the animals would be present on Forever Wild. We would work in conjunction with the local police department to remove all the animals and rescue all the animals.
If we get to that date and you can get the wolves, they're going with you. That's our understanding at this point. What we're concerned about is that she doesn't just willy-nilly get rid of the animals, so to speak, or send them to other places.
We got a federal restraining order, and in that restraining order, it forbid Forever Wild from transporting, selling, killing any of the wolves on the property. Without the federal restraining order in place, our fear was within that 90 days, she could just shoot, shovel, and shut up. Kill all the animals, pelt all the animals, sell all the animals, and that the animals would eventually end up dead. We gotta shut down animal cruelty. We gotta stop killing wolves domestically and in the wild for no reason. Because of the endangered species lawsuit, Forever Wild cannot transport any of the animals without notifying me 5 days in advance. What we do know is that this weekend, she's exhibiting them.
Yeah.
It came to my attention that Ms. Petters was taking wolves, transporting them, displaying them at a sportsman show, which drew me to act. Geddes, I want to send you right away.
I'd go right to Minneapolis. It makes me feel really good when we get to rescue animals from people like Petters. It's been a big stepping stone in my life and a new passion for me. And I think that's been the best part of getting involved with wolves.
If he goes and he verifies that something's going on, I will take his footage and video to show that there's a violation, and then we'll report that to the court. Thank you. I definitely thought that we had her dead to rights, but I'm not the person that's gonna pass up any opportunity to get more ammunition and to get into court.
So this is, I guess, their hunting, fishing, boating expo. It's a massive exhibit. Looks like down here there's a whole hunting booth set up. So it looks like we're coming up on it because I see bobcats and mountain lions. Bobcat. Is that a little bobcat? Lynx? What's his name?
Arapaho is his name.
Arapaho?
And he will be twice as big as that when he's full.
Really? Oh, huge.
Sportsman Expo in Minnesota was actually nuts. Right off the bat, we saw Petters.
We will actually get you in there, and you're gonna get slobbered on and licked up.
That'd be badass.
You could just tell by the way that they talked that they didn't have much care for the animals.
We'll gladly throw you in with the wolves.
Holy smoke.
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
They brought me in the pens they handed me foxes, but they go against everything in the book. You're not supposed to bring people that have no experience in a pen with these animals and in with foxes. I mean, these are animals that they've obviously bred to be more humanized than what they're supposed to be.
What you got there?
Fox faces for sale. Is that a fox? Yeah, it's a fox face. This is a fox. It says right here, fox faces. $5.95 each. And the whole bucket full of them. Probably 30 or 40 in here.
You could just tell when you see all those pelts there, they had a ton of foxes. That's all they were doing was breeding for fur and breeding for money. And that's, in my book, not okay. Initially, the mission was to go in and get eyes on wolves. But they had, what, 4 mountain lions there? Every single one of the mountain lions, they looked loopy, They were laying down, they were drooling heavy, they were panting. All the animals are sedated.
What's that? Fisher cat.
The Fisher cat was completely upside down on his back, passed out. I thought it was dead. And then we saw the two wolves sitting in the corner, laying down. They had to be medicated because wolves don't act like that, especially when there's that many people around.
They get rescued in the wild?
No, they were born at our facility.
Oh, okay. So then they're pretty used to people then. Picking up a wolf. Wow.
Wolves had to be on some sort of medication for him to be able to do that. To pick up a 120-pound wolf and it not wanting to try to get away or bite somebody, that to me just shows the state and the condition that the animal was in.
This was the growler.
He kept picking that wolf up and it was growling like crazy. It was not happy. It took a lot in me not to want to beat the crap out of him because they were stressing out the animals.
I don't think they like that. I'm gonna give him a call and see what he says. The one guy went in and just grabbed a wolf and picked him up. He was fucking growling, going nuts. He just picked up a wolf and was like, I got pictures for you. I'm gonna start sending them your way.
We got eyes on, okay, now I know there's wolves. Now it's, can I get a pelt from them? Because if I can buy a pelt from him, that's the nail in the coffin on it.
What are you getting? He's getting me a bag for my wolf pelt. He had two of them, 2 juveniles.
And then they had the audacity to actually sell me a wolf pelt for $150 in the expo in the middle of everybody. You know, hey, be quiet, don't let anybody see it.
Well, I got them to sell me a wolf pelt. They had 2. They were both summer coats, so obviously those wolves died this summer. They admitted that they pelted and harvested it from their place, and it died of natural causes. And then they had another one there that got attacked by the wolf pack and was killed.
In my book, that was a huge success because I think that further pushed the fact that they're actually not only pelting, but they're selling them to anybody.
Hey, Matt. So I got myself a wolf pelt. They had 2 of them there. I got them to admit that it died on their property. They skinned it. The guy even admitted that he's the one that skinned it, and it did it this summer.
Sold me a wolf pelt. Still can't believe they did that.